My name is Kameron Townsend. Here are my surroundings, and here is my one audience member. Here is my one note that we're going to have. It's a little custom, so it might look a little weird, but here we are. Cyber attacks on the rise. So imagine a world without the internet. We rely on the internet daily for such important needs. For instance, cell towers. If we didn't have our cell phones, what could we do? Contact would be very limited and would take so much longer. Now, cell phones specifically as well, for an example of technology, have evolved constantly over the last 10 years even. This makes cybersecurity so important, and the threat of cyber attacks are very real. I personally was the victim of a cyber attack whenever I had malware installed on my computer trying to install an autoclicker when I was about 12 years old. I had to throw away the computer and buy a new one. Very expensive. I don't want to do that again. But cyber attacks can also destroy families, homes, and everything you love. They can take it from you easily. So we need to prepare ourselves against them. The dangers of cybersecurity and cyber attacks are very widespread. So allow me to explain. We should strive to be like this man. He is researching, he's being proactive, and he's trying to defend himself against malware and cyber attacks. He uses technology daily, as you can see with the messy wires. So we should strive to be like this man, besides the color. That is the prime example of who we should be. And here's a prime example of what we should be researching. This is Medusa, and it is a ransomware application. Ransomware locks your computer, takes your information, and demands money for your privacy, which you should not have to pay. Medusa specifically had over 100 victims since 2021 and is still active today, and has had a warning issued by the FBI, according to Parvini Sarah. And we're not alone in this, because this is a worldwide threat. And the US, even the military, is one of the #1 competitors for cyber attacks. We are #1 on the leaderboard, but Ukraine is #2, according to Fishchuk Arena. So we get most of our cyber attacks from Russia, according to Longdoan et al. And this proves that cyber attacks, no matter who they're directed at or where they come from, can harm anyone, and so that we should always be prepared against them. The dangers of cybersecurity are real, but we can minimize the threat. Issues are global, and so there are a lot of resources online talking about solutions for individuals and even individual malware companies. This woman, for example, is getting help at a pharmacy for a touchscreen she's not exactly familiar with. Might be because she's a little older, but you didn't hear that from me. There are a lot of sources like Iwo and Vartianen's research on healthcare cybersecurity attacks, and they provide a lot of valuable information and help for those in need. So I recommend checking that out if you're ever curious. So we need to continue to stay informed in order to protect ourselves, because I was not. I made that mistake. As I mentioned earlier, I lost a computer, but I also lost a router due to the malware that came with that autoclicker. I had to pay about $300 out of pocket just to get what I had back, because I was misinformed and I didn't do my research. We can help protect each other. As a society, we should all have anti-malware services and stuff like that. HP is a good example of anti-malware services, but we should be updating our services daily, and we should be replacing them about every year or so if necessary. So, according to Mersagan et al., their IDS, the current IDS of the world, which is the Internal Detection Service or system, are faulty, and they provide a theory on how we can improve those. I recommend checking those out because that is valuable research, but there's way too much to cover for this. So, we should each be taking our part and be doing what we can in order to protect our people from malware services. This destroys families and countless lives, and it's a horrible service. And as technology evolves, So should we, because this is a computer from around the time when the first computers were actually built. And here are multiple modern computers. This is just one example of how technology has evolved within the last century, let alone the decade. So we need to continuously evolve with technology in order to protect ourselves. So we need to stay informed and secure in our knowledge about malware. We should evolve with technology. Let's retrace our steps. So we talked about how to protect ourselves from cybersecurity attacks and malware. We talked about how to research it and gave some pretty good examples about what we should be looking for. And we gave some pretty hard evidence that cybersecurity is one of the most important fronts of the modern life in the future of technology. In our future, we should be researching these things constantly and consistently, as well as updating our programs and getting help from AI that can block cyber attacks before they happen. Continue researching, stay curious, stay safe. Thank you.